Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome, have a good one.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, I call the Weare Board of Fire Awards, August 8th, 2022 meeting to order, and it is 6:02 PM. All right, first item is correspondence. I don't know if you have anything, Chief?
I do, actually.
Okay.
I have a nice letter here from the Assistant Fire Chief in Goffstown. It's addressed to me. Saturday, July 23rd, yourself and your crews responded to 47 Winter Hill Road, Goffstown construction fire. This fire presented multiple challenges to all crews on the scene, including advanced fire involvement, rural water supply, and oppressive heat and humidity. I would like to thank you and your personnel assistants with command and your crews who engaged in the multi-hour incident under trying conditions. It is only our mutual aid partners that can implement these types of incidents that we thank you very much. Sincerely, Francinos, Deputy Fire Chief. It did say that with your assistance with command, I was the first one there in Goffstown, and
You mean
Right.
before Goffstown got there?
before Goffstown
Okay,
got
all
there.
right.
And I offered command to the first captain, the assistant chief, and they said, you're doing fine, just stay with it, so.
When was the
Good job.
fire season?
Where was it from the fire?
When was the fire?
July
I
23rd.
did sign it.
Oh, it's this one you didn't.
I signed both.
How did I miss it?
Oh, good. That's awesome.
That is it, I guess.
Okay,
See, two didn't sign.
so that, I don't remember what the temperature was that day, but it was a
hot.
hot
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Yep,
everybody,
and,
everybody
They
did
did have
okay.
one of their firefighters get injured,
Okay.
which doesn't just take the one person out of the loop, it takes 3 people out of the loop. So we got more help than, if it had been a normal day, we probably wouldn't need that much help. But Merrimack was there with a couple of pieces of apparatus, and Dunbarton and the Bows, and they were all there.
Awesome.
So, yes, it was, as it turned out, it was, like I said, it was heavily involved with fire by the time anybody even saw it. And, they did a good job, so.
Good, thank you. All right, next we have new business. I don't have any items that were given to me under new business.
So there's no old business? Sorry, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
we
but I'm
don't
just
actually-
following
Just
the
trying to
list here.
We don't actually have a place on here for old business.
Oh, okay, so there's none, I'll
Do
just
we
go
have
with
any
that
old
again.
business?
I'll just copy these minutes,
Don't
good
think so.
enough.
Okay,
All right, so I have a question.
yep,
I think it falls under new
Sure.
business. So, everybody knew, except for me, I think, until last week, that Nate was out.
Okay.
Had blown out his knee and was out. So you're down a full-time staff member for 6 months.
okay.
So my question is, and I don't want to sound self-serving about this, but why are his shifts not available for other
Okay.
people to take? What is the procedure for filling that shift? And if it is, the procedure is solely to be filled with mandated other full-time officers, I recommend we talk about it.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything written down.
Okay.
Do you find anything, Wayne, on any of those?
No, I just heard back from finance today, back in the office. He's been out on vacation, so I didn't get any of the policies, SOGs, SOPs. But as far as I know, personnel that's the chief's job.
I don't know.
And
I don't know if there's
I'm not
anything
aware of
written.
a policy.
So, I don't know. It's something they'll have to draft up, I guess, if that's, obviously it's money and you guys should have a weigh in on that.
Yes.
So here's my thought on the money part of it is that, obviously, if you're pulling only from full-time staff, you're paying overtime. Now, I realize, as again, I don't want to sound self-serving, but there's been a lot of talk about getting the per diem hall staff back more involved. And personally, I think this would be a good way to put the shift available, or even parts of the shift as available for other people to take, as opposed to just mandating the full-time staff, so that it would be less expensive, because it wouldn't be overtime. And it would then at least put it out there to the call staff that they were indeed part of the fire department and needed. And again, at this point, it's that staff is pretty limited, and probably the only one taking advantage of it would be me, which is why I probably shouldn't. I do have skin in the game, so I'm sort of like, I'm two sides here. I'm sort of, as the Board of Fire Wards person, thinking, well, this would be less expensive and better for the taxpayers, but then on the staff side of it.
I think I can address that. There has been a lot of talk about that. The problems we have looking at our call force, who we can use for per diems, I think there's only one person who would fit the job description and so be fit for service. And that person hasn't been seen on a call in months. I have my doubts that we can fill these 2 shifts per week with per diem or on-call personnel reliably. So if we have people taking partial shifts, now somebody has to manage that, and it's going to take a lot of time. Well, he's not in the office 40 hours a week yet.
Right.
And then what do we do when it's Friday night and nobody signs up?
Well, I mean, obviously, that you would have to, it's out there now, right? So you've got within 48 hours, if nobody takes it, if nobody signs up for anything, then you turn and you go to Plan B, which is Plan A, which is to mandate one of your full-timers to take it. I don't know, you would again know better than some of the other full-time staff as to whether they would like to not have to work 48 hours, that maybe having an overnight off, having somebody come in to take that 5 to 7 shift, or even have somebody take the 5 to 10 shift and have somebody else take the 10 to 5 shift, or 10 to 7 shift. So, I mean, the ability to schedule it is in a lat tech now, right? I mean,
Right, but there has to
have
be
those all been gone?
somebody to manage it.
Right. So somebody would have to watch it and know that, I mean, it's 2 shifts a week. And know that on Friday, by Wednesday nobody had signed up, it would need to be filled with somebody else. Again, maybe the full-time staff would prefer to have more notice as to when they're being pulled in.
Well, and again, we have to have somebody manage it, so if it's Wednesday, Friday is open, but the person who manages is not on shift, then we're asking them to manage this from home. I don't think it'll happen, is the problem. And that's one of the reasons we've kind of stuck in this model, is because it's easy to manage. It takes care of itself. There are a number of personnel who are happy to have the overtime. I'm not one of them. But we haven't had a problem filling an overtime shift.
Okay.
I would love to get the call force involved. I just don't think this is the way.
Should we keep that door open?
Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm sorry.
There's Dave.
There he is.
Dave, can you keep that door open? He must have closed it when he went out.
Yeah, he did.
Sorry, going back out to- Yeah,
Gotta keep the cold in.
didn't even notice that.
So you think that managing it
We
is
gotta-
that much of a
Let's
headache?
bring Dave over. Can we bring Dave over in the corner there? Not that we're trying to stick you in the corner, Dave.
See,
But we're gonna stick you in
there's
the
one
corner.
right there.
Actually, there's plenty of room, we can slide down.
Yeah, why don't we do that a little bit? Just
Oh, yeah, there's like enough mics.
Yeah, we got enough mics.
I don't know whose clip that is. I'm sure that goes with.
Yep.
Pass this
That
down.
one,
Yeah,
Dave?
it's missing some signatures.
Stayed in the house
Yeah,
most
I
of the
guess.
day.
Good
I
idea.
don't know if he's done that yet. Yeah, you're right into
So do you want to weigh in? Do you think it would be impossible to manage that way?
It would be a nightmare to manage, but
Okay.
I can hear you what you're saying.
I think that it's the chief's job to manage the department personnel. And so there's different parties involved. So I would be in favor of the chief coming up with a plan as soon as possible as to, that we could make a policy on how this is done. But I think that's your responsibility and authority
I got some
to
thoughts.
do, so. And we'll take a look at it and approve it, if that's, everybody good with that? Okay, anything else? Approval of minutes.
You got one?
No, never mind. Dave might need one.
I have,
Dave, you need one?
okay, there's another one, I got plenty here, so.
Sorry, I'm copying.
I know you're right, and I don't wanna
There was something that was like,
throw a different paper in there, screw y'all up.
Don't do that to me.
I remember I looked at it and I didn't circle it.
I guess I don't see.
Okay, wait a minute,
If it's spelling, I'm not gonna be at help. Tell you that.
oh, here it is. Under 4A, right in the middle of the paragraph, it says both parties are unsure if this approval is still be valid. I think that B probably
Strike
should
B.
be struck.
Okay.
See where I am there?
Yep.
Louisa?
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's nothing further, I would move that we approve these minutes as corrected.
I will second that.
Okay, motion's been moved and seconded. Is there any other questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed? Abstain. Actually, before we go any further, we have Acting Chief Robert Richards here with us. And according to the board's makeup, the fire chief sits as a board member. So he is currently the acting chief. Is the board okay with him being a voting member?
Absolutely.
Okay, there we have it. I should have given, would you like the opportunity to vote on that last motion?
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Okay, manifest.
It's way down there by C2.
So we have to read the, I still gotta sign it too before
too.
it goes away.
Did you sign it?
Not yet. Guys talk too fast.
Okay.
Who wants to read it?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. All right. All right. I move to accept the fire department's accounts payable manifest for checks dated August 11, 2022 in the amount of $1,841.52.
I second it.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any questions, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, motion carries. Next is administrative report. You have anything for us, chief?
No, I think I got the most current budget today. And I don't think we're in any danger at all. I did receive the capital fund balances today, looking at those. I don't see anything too crazy in here. The air pack replacement capital reserve is sitting at $21,010. I mentioned to Beth today that that probably will be one of the items we'll go try to get some grant money to replace them sometime in the very near future.
The air packs?
Yeah.
How old are they?
Well, the 2015 vintage, and we bought them used.
Right,
So we have bottles and we have face pieces,
okay,
but we can't find anybody locally to service them.
okay,
So what we're doing is we're sending them back to the Tuesdays for a month to service out in, they get sent to Utah, and they're gone for 6 weeks. And then if they're gone over the next month, we have to take those out of service because they haven't been serviced within the year time frame. So there's, air pack's
Okay.
always setting.
okay. I
So-
thought they were gonna be the same as
They're, so that's,
one, so, okay,
but that's a little bit down the road.
okay.
Vehicle maintenance, we've already spent all the money. And that was because of the tanker, so I was told. So, yeah, no, other than that, I think we're in good shape. We don't have any real issues going on, so. That's about it, I guess.
Okay,
I think, there's quite a few things I want to talk about and get some direction before I leave tonight, but.
is that concerning personnel that we do in non-public?
Well, there's a lot of stuff leading up to that. So
Okay,
do you want to do that now, or do you want to?
well, if it has to do with non-public issues, then we'll do that in non-public.
A lot of this is not.
Okay, good.
So, water supplies, cisterns and dry hydrants. We need to make sure we get those tested before, freezing weather. I'm gonna try to, get a mix of people, maybe a Saturday or something, get a couple of call people to go out, along with the other staff, and try to get those knocked out. I don't know if we got around to all of them last year or not, but there's a lot of them out there, so. Okay, required testing. None of the stuff has been tested this year in 2022. So we have ladders, hose, pumps, and the rescue tools need to be tested. There's a company out there that, Sauhegan Mutual Aid put an RFP out a couple of years ago for hose testing for the whole mutual aid. And the way that the company bid it was, we don't want you to have to travel to every, we don't want to travel to every location, but if you want to, the guy said, come out to Weare, it's really crazy to have come out to Weare and not have, 3 or 4 other towns, but we was able to obtain the same price as if they were doing Milford, Amherst, Merrimack all at the same time, so. I have current pricing for them guys to come to Weare, and they also do ladder testing, so they can do it all at once.
Have we been contracting our hose
No,
testing?
we haven't done any hose testing for a long time.
I thought we,
When I was chief before, we contracted it.
right, I thought we bought a machine and we were doing
We haven't done
ourselves.
hose testing for
Okay,
3 years
okay.
or more.
So have you already done the contract with RFP? Is that out, or it's
No,
through that
I have
mutual
this,
aid
I have this here. For a 3-year contract, for 13,000 feet of hose, which is an estimate of what we have. It's $4,550 a year. What happens is they come, strip your hose, test it, and put it back on the truck. You don't touch it. If you want to have your guys reload it, the price goes down to $36.40. But you gotta be there to load the hose, you know, because they're gonna
Right.
move one truck right in behind the other. And the ground and ladder testing is $2.50 a foot, and we have, I don't know, about 160 feet of ladders that we would test. So I'm just looking for some direction on that, so we can get all that caught up to date.
All right, do we have a budget line for that?
Yep, we do. And the line is required testing, I believe. I should have marked that before I got here. There's $6,500 in that line, and we have not spent any of it.
Okay.
They said they schedule about 2 months out.
I think it's pretty, if you think that's probably the best way to get caught up and everything, I don't,
Well, I think it is.
I
mean,
don't-
And we don't have to touch it. We just have to drive the truck to a place and they take care of it.
I think that is,
Well, rough numbers were around 5,100 or so. And what do we do about pump testing?
That is scheduled for September-ish.
already.
And the cost?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he charges. I thought it was around 175 apiece, but I'm not sure.
That's the same company?
No,
Oh,
no.
That's Perkins, right?
Perkins, I use Perkins. He's fair enough. He comes right to the station, does it. And you don't have to go down to the pond, and he just does it behind the building.
and
And
it's scheduled for September, you said?
yeah, I asked him about it. He doesn't like to do it when it's too hot out, because it heats the water up, and then it doesn't test properly when the water is warm, so. It almost boils inside the tank.
I mean, my opinion is, I think if you think it's good and it's gonna get you back on track and on schedule and
Yep.
getting stuff like that all aligned, I see no issue with it, especially since
mean-
we got the money right there.
I made a call to the rescue tool guy to see when we serviced those last, and he never got back to me, so I'm not sure what that's gonna. And I didn't even get a good price out of him, how much that was gonna be, so. But all those required testing things, you know, we need to be doing
Yep.
those,
Yep.
so that if somebody ever come in and asked, we're
Yeah.
up to date.
Okay.
And what was the company, RFP, is that what you said?
No, it's Fire Cat, CATT. Now, I didn't shop around, because this price was, they already shopped around. And this is, Amherst Chief was the one that orchestrated that whole mess, and this is the one they chose, so I didn't call anybody else.
I think if you got it all right there and you can,
They're out of New Jersey.
it's kinda a no-brainer, in my opinion.
Well, my thing is you don't have to touch it.
Exactly.
They just do it.
They just do it and get it done, and that's one thing that can be checked off and you know what I mean? Guaranteed, and
They do a barcode on the coupling, and they also stencil it each length. That's part of that. And they give you a report at the end of all your hose.
I think that's great.
Right, so
That's pretty
I will call those
Well,
guys.
I think it should be done according to the town purchasing policy. So, if we have to get a couple of prices,
No, that's easy. I can.
I don't think you're gonna find anything cheaper, but I just wanna do our due diligence that we're
Yep.
covering
I
our
can get a
bases.
couple more
Okay.
prices.
So, if, you want a motion on that? Make a motion?
I don't know how to make a motion to accept
Alright.
that, or to,
I'll make a motion that we approve the expenditure to have the testing done, provided that it's done according to the town purchasing policy.
All right, so if I get a couple
Okay.
more prices, I find somebody cheaper,
And
that's,
that we're within, in the budget.
yeah, and they gotta be, they gotta do what these guys are gonna do.
Okay.
All right,
All right, so the motion's on the floor.
I'll second
Do you
it.
have that, Louisa?
I've approved the expenditure to have the testing done as long as it is done within the town's purchasing policy and budget. Is that-
That's the motion.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any
Okay.
further questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstain,
thanks.
motion carries.
Okay, the next thing is dispatch. We are gonna move, September 27th. We will be going online with Concord. Last week, I got told the wrong date, and the wrong date made it as far as 911, and they called and said, no, you're going online the 27th, not the 20th. So there's a bit of a hiccup between capital area coordinator and 911, because he's telling me the 20th, they're telling me the 27th. We're going to 27th, because Naomi readjusted the thing and sent it back today.
Okay.
Some of the things that had to be done, Keith from Capital Area came over a week or so ago, and we sat down. I think everything is all set now, except for any target hazards we might have, need to be input into their CAD.
Target hazards?
Yeah, like the school, or
Okay.
an address we have to go to all the time that we need help with.
And they have to be put into their system?
They have to put it in their system, and he said that can be done anytime. It isn't something that needs to be done before we go. This is the real problem. When we were doing the testing a couple of years ago around town, when Concord Fire would put the tone out, our tone, to do the test, it would open Concord Fire Central's radio. So every time that we would tone we would get toned out, Concord Fire's radio would open. So our tone is close to theirs. They did some more testing the other day, and it also has an issue with Pennacook Rescue's pagers opening on our tone. So R&R Communications is working on that. Whether we're gonna change our tone, or whether they need to change their tone, one or the other, we've gotta make that adjustment. Keith is on vacation this week. R&R will be here tomorrow. I got a meeting with them over this and a couple of other things. The Knox box key release is also an issue. When they were programmed to open so when we call up to get the key, nobody has those tones written anywhere. So we have the box with the key in it that Goffstown can release the key, but when we go to Concord, they won't be able to release the key because nobody knows what the tone is. So we can't transfer the numbers. R&R is gonna make an attempt to go down to dispatch and see if they can pick those numbers out. And if they can't, then Knox does not make that particular model anymore. They stopped servicing it in 2007. So we're gonna be kind of stuck. We'll end up taking the keys out, and then down the road, we'll end up having to buy new equipment to do that, so.
But you're saying that once we go to capital area, we won't be able to
We
get the
won't be
Knox
able to get
box
the keys,
out?
no,
That sounds about right.
which is a little,
Uneasy.
R&R's working on it. The other thing is up in the air is the old channels, our 154, 250, and 1010. Capital Area said that they would take those two different ways. They would take them with our permission to utilize them as channel 11 and 12 in their radios, we could hold the license, or they could just absorb them, and then they could start licensing it. My recommendation was we hold the license and let them okay, and give them the okay to use them. If something ever happened, we would be able to go back to,
Right.
to our license, our
I agree
channels.
with that.
The other one is the 154, 160. I'm gonna try to hold that one as well. We'll hold on to that one. The meeting tomorrow is what are we gonna shut off? Where is that gonna fall into radio maintenance for next year? What's the number gonna look like? In that, and the Knox box stuff, and then what to do with the old channels. R&R recommended we keep them. We keep possession of them, so.
I think so too.
And another thing that I'm working on with Capital is radio assignments, because they want everybody's portable, when they key up, they wanna know who it is. So I kinda went through and made a list of everybody's radio. R&R is working on serial numbers. It's just a paper shuffle. It's gonna, eventually it'll be taken care of, but, they wanna know whose radio is being keyed up, so. The mutual aid associations, Sauhegan Fire Mutual Aid, I recommend that we stay, with them, at least for the short term. The reason being is because we're so involved with, we've got so much invested in the hazmat team down there. And for what it costs us to belong to them, I think we should stay. And it doesn't only give you the hazmat team, it gives you the Swiftwater, a dive team, warm and under ice. It gives you a large animal rescue, the team that comes out and does that. I said Swiftwater Rescue. So, and we pay the mutual aid for that, and all we have to do is make the phone call. So my recommendation is to stay with that, budget it for next year, to stay with them for at least the short term, until we can get our feet wet with Concord. Kearsarge Mutual Aid is the same with that. That's like $50 a year, to belong to them. I go to the meetings, and, I bring back the burden stuff that needs to be shared. We added a deputy warden, Captain Rorick. That paperwork has been done. He is also working on the line of duty death packets. That has never been done. So he's taken that and going to work, get everybody's documents up to date, file them, seal them and file them. And he was well involved in that, pretty heavy in Bedford, so he knows what needs to be done there. And then once it's done, we'll have Tom Green from Granite State Fire people come out and explain the whole thing and bring their stuff and what they do. And at the same time, we'll talk about our disability insurance as well, so that we cover through Tom Green. I'm gonna try to get the training back up and going again. Next Tuesday night is the first of that. I'm gonna try to get back to basics, just doing things. Mark Rorick is gonna schedule all that stuff up. New office hours down there. Got Jen we got her office hours straightened out to what she was able to work. So Monday, Tuesday, Monday is 8:30 to 3:15. Tuesday's 8:30 to 1:45. Wednesday's 8:30 to 3:15, and Friday's 8:30 to 1:45. So those are the times that she'll be in the office.
Can you just have her email that to me?
Yep.
Just so I'll have it. I was trying to write it down, and sure I'll be able to read it better if it comes from her. Thank you.
All
I
right,
appreciate
so we
it.
talked about the policies, review of the policies. Wayne wasn't able to get those, so that'll have to be pushed off until next time. Mark Rurik met with the call company. Wasn't able to meet with everybody all at once, so he's in the process of doing that, meeting up with them, taking some suggestions, forwarded along to me so I can kind of make some decisions on how we're gonna move forward. Inspections that I've done to date, I had a rough sprinkler inspection. I had a final sprinkler inspection. In Stark House Tavern is looking for their place of assembly. I had the computer IT guys come in today and was able to find those documents, so I can move forward with those. Made an order for some uniforms. Another thing we're gonna be talking about tomorrow is the radio for the new ambulance. The guys at R&R said that they have been waiting for some stuff from both Motorola and Kenwood for like a year. So I wanna get that radio ordered, because I don't wanna have an ambulance without a new radio, being able to, and wait for it, you know what I mean? So he's gonna give us a couple of quotes tomorrow on the Kenwood, the Motorola. I know the Motorola's gonna be like $3-4 grand more, so we've kinda aimed to go to a Kenwood. I think looking at them, you would never be able to tell the difference. It just, that's the way it is. And I'm down to the point where I think we ought to go into non-public.
Okay, can we back up for a second?
Yeah,
Can you give us a status on the ambulance? I know.
no,
Okay, 'cause that, all we knew was that they were looking for a chassis.
Okay.
So we didn't have any kind of a,
the ambulance contract has been signed, okay? We're waiting for that contract, the written contract put into a drawing. And then that drawing comes to us, he brings it up, we go over everything, you get one shot at changing something, and then it goes back to Iowa, and then once you sign it, it's in the build. But they have so many behind. He was telling me 2 weeks ago, that he has trucks that were ordered in January, February, that he hasn't got drawings yet for the first round, because they're that far behind, just in chassis alone.
so we have, last I knew, we hadn't located a chassis.
We have
yet.
not.
Okay.
Nope. It's, everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah.
So, it's ordered, it's just waiting for it to move forward through the system. It's painful. He had 27 vehicles ordered and no chassis. But he did tell me that Lifeline did have 10 chassis dropped all at once a couple weeks ago. So he said that was a plus to see that many being dumped all at once. And it's 260 days after receipt of the chassis. So once they get a VIN number, they know the chassis is on its way, then they start building.
Okay.
They start building, so it's, there's pieces of it done before the chassis gets there, then they mount it, and then it just moves through.
Okay. No, I was just curious if we
Yeah,
had.
no, I
Heard anything
wish I did.
different?
I'd
Okay.
be the first to know.
Thank you. Okay, then I think that concludes the regular business, unless somebody has anything else that they want to discuss tonight in public. So we'll adjourn the meeting after the non-public. Go right to adjournment. So I make a motion, we go into non-public under RSA 91A:3, 2A and C
I second it.
at 6:41. Okay, can I give you this, Louisa? That'll make it easier. So we have to put who motioned and who seconded, and then you, if you want to do the roll call to go in.
Okay, so, do I take the roll call?
Sure.
We just call your name?
Yep.
Wayne Meady,
Yes.
Steve Roberts,
Yes.
Killian Dolly,
Yeah.
Dave Huey,
Yeah.
C2,
Yep.
Rob Richards. Me? Yes,
You actually have to write the names.
I
in
will,
there.
I will. You can do it that
Put
fast.
C2.
I'm going to get C2.
Okay, so we'll go into non-public session.